Now, see there, I got you to dancing.
I love that. I might have to pay Holly, as I see the little hashtag going around, to
Oh
make a
yeah,
new intro on mine. That was something right there. I like that.
I love doing them. It's really time consuming. It most of the time it takes me about a week to really fine tune everything. But then once it's done, I mean, I'm ready to start another one. So yeah. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you. I appreciate you for inviting me on. Excited for it.
Absolutely. I remember uh our last guest, Rusty. I watched him on your show and I was like, I like that dude. And then of course I met you in Arlington and you kind of startled me, you know. I was walking by and you're like, hey, I know you. You were on 15 Minutes of Lame. And I was like, who is this guy? No, I didn't know who you were. And just getting into the business and everything. And yeah, it's been something.
It's fun. That's one of the things that I pride myself on. I might not always remember names, but
Right.
I don't forget a face. Like Bobby, I've seen him around a few times, so I knew
Yeah.
his face instantly. Like I want to say we were talking on either Instagram or Facebook, so I had his face memorized, and then I watched you walk by, and I was like, "Oh, that's Holly." I
Yeah.
didn't put two and two together for a while, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Rusty called him Paul.
Yeah.
He thought he was Paul. I was like, oh
All right.
no. I like that dude. He is awesome.
I called
Is he-
Rusty Randy on our live, and then
Yep.
the following week I had Brandon Nixon on, and I freaking said Army instead of Marine. So it was like
Oh,
2 or
no.
3 weeks in a row of me just screwing something up when I was talking, because my brain goes like a million miles a minute, and sometimes my mouth
Yeah.
goes a little bit faster. So
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I'm the same way. I'm always jacking something up. So let's talk about all the babies you have available. That's kind of exciting. Or
well,
do you have adults also?
yeah. So I am moving original stock that I started the collection with, and some stuff from collections that I've picked up over the years. It's a lot of basic stuff, honestly. But it's all breeders, it's all females. I'm trying to make room for the stuff that I've produced over the last 3 years to start making my babies have babies.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like Pastaves, and we'll be honest, it's like starter packs for people, right? Like I'm not gonna try to amp it up before it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's starter packs that we all get our hands on, and you know what? It does well for us. We get our blue-eyed Lucies and we get our stuff, and then we start diving into the little bit harder stuff to get, and you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then as far as babies, we are literally all over the spectrum. I got visual DG clowns all the way down to
Oh, dang.
like pastel yellow bellies available right now. So
Right. So
it's
yeah, we're
all
definitely
over
gonna
the
have to
place.
talk. That's not what he wants to hear, but
Hey, I'm just saying, I've had it posted. I've been putting it out there. First dibs first.
there you
I
go.
don't plan on letting it come home from Arlington one way or another.
So bring a box.
Bring a box and heavy pockets.
There you go. Well, I don't know about that either. So we're going to Tinley with Celtic.
Nice.
Are you going to be able to go this year?
So this is going to be my first one. So when COVID happened, I was supposed to be going with Mr. Brian Gundy and Earl Jones and Ren. And COVID happened, and we called each other like 3 weeks out, like, well, we're going to cancel it all. It's probably not going to go down. Obviously they still had like a hotel Tinley Park that year, but we were staying in an Airbnb and all that. So we got our deposits back on everything. And every year I've tried to put it together, and I haven't been able to put it together. Well, gosh, it's 2 years now on this. I did that US ARC fundraiser with Antoine, where we did the little match, and he decided he wanted to do something to give back to USARK again and to give to Brian Barczyk because it's been a big influence in his life, right?
Right.
So he talked to me and he was like, well, will you help me promote it and do the commentator on it, potentially go in a match? And I was like, I love you. I'll get my best Joe Rogan on. I will fly up there. I will enjoy every second of Tinley, but I'm not losing weight to get in a match and I ain't working out. So I love you, but that's about all you get from me.
So I do want to play this little clip here. I'm sure you've seen it before. I'm terrible, aren't I?
I love him. I love him. It's awesome.
So that's not the only competition going down. We also have this one going down. So
with the reveille in the background. I love it.
So whoever the loser is, basically he's gonna have to wear a dress because I already know I've won. if he wins, he gets to put clown makeup on me there at Tinley. So he's already said what he's gonna draw on my face, and I really don't want to wear clown makeup.
Is it typical NARBC?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So I definitely, I'm trying to win this one. But I am looking forward to it. And, you know, in Arlington, we stayed for the auction this time, but it was some drama going down and stuff. So we didn't stay that long. And not our drama, thank gosh. But it is hard for me to be around a lot of people like that. And I know there's a lot of people who do struggle with that. But with it being snake people, though, you feel so much more comfortable because pretty much we're all pretty just like, there's something not right with us. We love snakes, right?
There's a small disconnect somewhere up there.
Yeah, somewhere, just a little one. So you don't plan on fighting, huh?
I'm not gonna fight. I've enjoyed my time. I've transferred from. I had 7 years in the military. I did a lot of fighting before the military, a lot of fighting in the military. I've transferred into dad life, and I'm pretty content where I'm at, doing what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, Papa Bear's still in there, but I don't like bringing it out anymore.
Yeah, I hear you there. Having kids does definitely change you.
Definitely made me a little bit softer than I used to be in all ways. But
so you just have one kid or more?
I got three. I got an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Oh, blessings, man. Yep, we had three, so we stopped there, and now I actually want another one. I want to, and he's like, no, we're not adopting. Well, that because I can't have any more kids, so he's not down for that. So we're just gonna wait for
grandchildren. We can spoil them and then send them home.
Yep.
There you go. Hype them up with sugar. That's what happens at Arlington. We drop the kiddos off at grandma's house, and then we go down there and we work the weekend, and she loads them up with sugar, and then we pack them in a car and drive 12 hours home.
So you said you're going to be trying to move to Gainesville, which is where I'm from. And so that puts us, I don't know if you know where Durant is, Durant, Oklahoma. So we're a little over an hour apart, and that'll be cool, dude. I'm telling you, that's going to be cool. I was just saying in one of the groups, I need a local snake breeder. We don't have any friends, and our neighbors, they all freak out when we, if I step outside to take a picture with a snake or anything. So
I get looks constantly, especially now. Like I've I've kind of transferred from regular. Well, I'm sure you've seen through the reels and stuff, from like regular photography to where I want some aspect of nature in my shots now.
Yep.
I don't want to just be confined in this little room because it took all my creativity away. Like I got to the point like I would get out of school because I go to school full time too. I would get out of school and I'd come in here and I'd put so many hours into here, put hours into rats and everything. And I was just like, I don't want to pick up a camera. I don't want to do anything. And so I let everything just go to the wayside. And then I started watching people that did nature, and we finally threw grass in the backyard. I got it going real nice. And I was like, man, this feels good. I go outside every day and like kind of ground myself in the grass, feel better. And then I started doing the images up front because that was the only green I had was like that one little tree. So I was like waving it back and forth in front of the leaves, trying to make something out of it, you know?
Right.
And now I'm starting to play with stuff in the grass, and it's helped so much. Like it's rejuvenated my mind in the sense of creating, at least for like Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is hard being creative on there, and just like these reels or whatever they are. People ask me, how do you do it? I only use Canva. It's not a big secret. I have to pay for it, but it's not like a secret weapon or anything. And then today I used was it CapCut for the first time. Oh my gosh, I'm in love already. So definitely going to be using that as well. But creativity is not my strong suit.
Well,
Probably not. I'm not.
But you have like an eye. You do have an eye for things. It's just like when when you're sewing that you've always done. Some of that stuff you picked out, I would have never in a million years thought those things would go together. And then when the product's done, and you're just like, oh wow, yeah, that's just it's the same thing. I mean, like with this stuff, you sit there and mess with it, and I'm just like,
yeah, no. So what are you going to school for?
So I got my bachelor's in business management and accounting, working on an MBA, which is disgusting. I want to understand accounting. I don't ever want to do it. I've had people hit me up already. Like, oh, you got a degree in accounting. You want to look at our books?
Do my taxes?
I don't. I'm not going to do my own taxes. I plan on hiring someone. So I just want to understand it better to make sure that they're doing the right tax breaks.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's going to be beneficial. We did our taxes last year, and it was our first time to carry our business on it. So we didn't do a lot. We didn't do the electricity, the housing, or the room space. All this stuff I didn't know we could do until after we had done it. So definitely going to be better this year. I hope.
It's a hard one too, because it's like you have to eventually show a profit, right?
Yes.
Oh, I got all this stuff I can write off. It's great. Well, I got the notice on last year's taxes. They said, hey, you got to show a profit next year. Otherwise, we're going to consider it a hobby and it's no longer a business. So you can't get all these deductions, right? So, yeah, well, guess we're going all out. Let's have some fun.
Well, I did do better this year, keeping up on the rat sales, and that helps.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as snakes, we've only sold one or two this year, but we haven't had any yet either. Yeah. So,
I mean, the first year or so, it's really a learning curve, and it's kind of like I was saying before. Earl did so much for me. Like I can't thank Earl enough for all the guidance and information that he's given me over the years, and those times where I call and I'm like, and lose it, you know what I mean? And he's like, well, now calm your horses. Do what you got to do. Let's look at it this way. Just keep pressing forward. If this is what you want, you'll make it happen. Yeah. And I listened to him and now we're making it happen. So
that's good. Yeah, he does crack me up. I love going over there and shooting the shit, and he kind of cracks me up watching him feed the way he does it. It's just it's hilarious. I don't know if you've ever it's the whole right over the little flip on the side. It's like, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna have to get fancy like a Earl and try to feed fancy.
Yeah, but going back, there's so many breeders in that area. I don't know if they just haven't reached out to you, but like
Mm,
generally within like, no, I'm gonna say it's a little bit of a distance because you're what, about 2.5 from Earl right now?
yeah.
Yeah. So probably within that same distance, there's probably a solid, I would say at least 10 to 15 breeders out there, minimum.
Yeah.
So
What's the one we bought pink off of?
Oh, Sean Barnett.
Yeah, Sean
Mhm.
Barnett.
He's around Fort Worth.
Yeah, but don't really. They really don't get on YouTube or anything.
Mhm.
It's hard to get those people to get your name and face out there, but once you do, it's crazy too.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you went ahead and did the podcast as well, just to get your name out there.
Well, so I actually traveled my first year. Like my first year in reptiles, I was still in the army, and I had, this is gonna sound crazy, I think it was like 120 or 150 days of leave. And they're like, you got to use all this, and then you have I was getting out of the army that year, so you have your terminal leave as well, and they have to give you about 30 days for that. So with all my built up leave, I had use or lose, and then my terminal leave, they're like, you have to take at least 45 days at a time. You got to come back for a day, essentially sign in, sign back out, and do it again. So like my last 3-4 months in the army, I never worked a day. So
Nice.
I went and I traveled to California twice, went to the super shows out there. I went up to Arlington, just tried to get my face out there, kind of see how it worked, because I was watching from YouTube, and I remember from like high school, like I went to a show when I was in high school one summer, but I'm gonna date myself. Like it had been like almost a 20-year separation between the two,
Oh,
So
wow.
it's just like, what is this about? Like let's get our feet a little wet before I jump full in, because Mama messed up. She said, I want a snake. I was like, you don't know my background. Here we go. And she's watching Brian Barczyk videos, and she's sending them to me constantly. And she's like, I want to get a ball python. I want to get a ball python. I was like, man, ball pythons are for sissies. We're going to get a boa constrictor. I had boa constrictors when I was a kid. You'll be fine. So we go to a local pet store and pick up a boa constrictor, and like, see, it's great. She's only like 4 foot. She moves her enclosure when she hits her meal, and it's a wonderful time. We love it. And she's like, that's a little too big. I need something a little bit smaller. I want a ball python. All right, let's do it. And so we get her ball python, and then she keeps showing me, and I was like, I think I want to do that. Like, I really think I want to breed snakes for like forever until I can't pick them up anymore.
Right.
And so she's like, I just want a pet. I just want a pet. And slowly but surely, one multiplied to like 5 within a month. I think like 2 months later, we're at like 7 or 10. And then within the first year, I think we hit like 35 or 40. And I did really good. Like once I hit that point, I stayed there for like 3 years, because I got everything as far as ball pythons as babies.
Mhm.
So I was just growing everything up. And so we stayed right there. And I had boa constrictors, I had carpet pythons, retic. Still have my retic. She's ornery though. If I turn the light on, she's gonna think it's food time. So
Uh-oh.
she's got that scheduled down pat. I need to probably alternate it a little bit. But yeah, retic, MBKs, just anything I could get my hands on, really. Like I did what we tell everyone, don't do it. Like don't just scatter to the winds, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what I did. And like I said, I talked to Earl a lot, and I was getting frustrated, and I sent some animals out on breeding loans with other friends, and I decided that it was time to kind of focus in as far as breeding, at
Right.
least for a couple of years, on one species. Talked to Earl. We decided it should be ball pythons, and I'd give it my whole on that. And we started building that up. Held on to the MBKs and my retic, and we're on year 3 breeding ball pythons. Pretty excited about it. I had my biggest year ever, which is, I mean, 3 years. It's not hard to say that you had your biggest year ever, but I mean, I over doubled what I produced last year, so that's huge.
Yeah. So how many clutches is that for you this year?
Right now, I'm at 12, and potentially, I think I got 2 or 3 girls that are building right now, and I'm on the fence. Like, do I want to push it more? Because we were talking about it. Space is
An issue. Yeah.
Space is an issue right now. So I'm kind of looking at them and I'm like, I don't need to breed you, but dang, man, I got the right thing. I can make a really good clutch, but don't have the space. So depending on what Arlington shows, y'all make sure you come check out that booth. There might be some good deals going on there.
Dude, I might be over there just hanging out at your booth.
But yeah, so we're there's a potential I might hit 15 if I push. I think for sure I'm gonna hit 13. I think I got one more girl. She's sitting at about 35 right now, and
Yeah.
I think even if I pull off, there's a pretty good possibility that she might go. So
Yeah.
What's your most anticipated clutch this year, or a clutch that you've already had?
Well, I can do both. I'll do both of those for you. So
There you go.
the one that I already had was a long shot. Just kind of, we'll see and pray and hope for the best, and ended up hitting a DG clown out of it. So it was a fire double het DG clown to a yellow belly possible double het DG clown. Like,
Oh,
straight
wow.
shooting the odds.
Yeah.
I ain't a
Wow.
gambling man, but I took a gamble there. And
Good thing you did.
yeah, came out with a beautiful fire DG clown female that we're going to be growing up out of that one. And then the clutch right after that was another pairing for DG clown, and we ended up hitting 2. So that was freaking awesome. And that's why we have one available now. And
Male or female?
they're both males. So we're going to be keeping a male, keeping a female, and then we're letting a male go. And we're letting go of the blade DG clown. So it did bring a little bit of a copper tone back to it, which is kind of cool. I really like it. I like what it's doing as it sheds out. It's getting brighter, but it's still maintaining kind of like that almost copper red undertone, which I really like. So
I'll have to see that one.
yeah.
So is it a fire DG clown or LSR fire DG?
No, unfortunately, it is a regular fire DG clown. Though an LSR fire clown, I will say, darn near looks just like a DG clown. So
Yep. Yep. We have the Axis, we have the fire, and we have the other. So
okay.
we're just growing out.
Yeah. We started it in
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
2020, and we bought all juveniles, and we've
2021.
raised them up, and just this year they're getting to the point where we were able to breed, and then like we talked about earlier, move the rooms, and it was like,
yeah,
that's it. But they're starting to come back around.
Yeah.
And then I have currently in the incubator my first visual monarch clutch.
Oh my goodness.
That's gonna come out my birthday weekend, and I'm super happy.
My goodness.
Super happy. Like, couldn't have timed that one any better. So my first time at Earl's, I got to meet Sydney from MSB, and she gave me the opportunity to go into her home when she still lived in New Mexico. This was before she moved to Texas and then North Carolina. She let me go to her home in New Mexico and showed me the entire Monarch collection and other stuff she was working with. And my wife, I don't know how this woman is this lucky. Ain't never been bit by a snake up to this point, right? I mean, we've had snakes for probably, well, we've been back in it for like 7 years now. So 5 years. Nothing. Scot-free for 5 years. And Sydney shows us this little female pastel monarch. The first thing she does when my wife grabs her is "Fwah!" Like, I'm buying that snake. I don't care what it costs, I'm buying that snake. And we got her, and I think she was 18 months, something like that. And she started building. She was well over, I think when she first started building, she was like 1700 grams. And she was well over 2,000 grams when she laid right at 24 months. So like right at 2 years, she let it go. And it was just like, I was running through the hallways. This is one of the ones I wish I would have recorded. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah.
I took pictures, but I wish my camera had been out for that. It was one of those. Grown man squealed like a little girl that day. And
Oh man.
it's probably going to happen the same time when I do that live on egg cutting them. Like once I see that first visual monarch, I'm going to lose it. But so that's a GHI Mojave Het monarch male to a pastel monarch female. So there's GHI monarchs already out there. I ain't never seen a picture. I've asked people about it. All of that. I've seen the way Banana interacted with it. And that's kind of where my inspiration for that came from, is seeing what GHI Banana does, and then looking at the color difference on the palette between like your T negatives, like your banana, your albino, your lavenders, going to your T positives, right?
Right.
And I was like, well, if we can interplay that, really bring out those purples and burgundies and make them stay there, and add the right thing. And then now you don't have to worry about speckling because you ain't got the banana that, that's hot. And next year's going to be a banger for Monarch too. Like if we do move, I don't plan on really trying much, but I will tell you, I will be going full out on the Monarch project next year, because I got a boy that I was going to try to get him to steal the clutch, and he didn't start throwing sperm until the deal was already done with the GHI. So,
well, I'm just like, I'm a good, strong mover. You know, we can do some trading out for some snake stuff.
there you go.
You don't.
I'm going to need it.
Ever hear a friend say that?
That's what I did. That's actually how I got on 15 Minutes of Lane.
Really?
So, Chris Eaton hears about this crazy Texas boy that decides to move a friend 4 hours and move their collection of, I think just counting the reptiles, it was like 500 animals.
Yeah.
So we took a weekend. I went and I got my own hotel and I moved them, and then came back, and we became good friends, and we went back and forth. And they tell Chris about the story. And Chris is like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? I got to figure out who he is. Why, you know? And yeah, so we do that. And I was part of the original year of 15 Minutes of Lame. I love watching the way it's progressed. I feel terrible about what Chris is going through right now.
Yeah.
But I love watching the way that segment has progressed, and I give Chris such a hard time all the time about it, because I'm like, man, you care about these people so much. Like you like to act like you hate everybody, but you love everyone, and you're trying to set them up for success. And he's like, don't you put that on me.
So I was in Samson's Snakeatorium in the chat one time, and Chris was in there, and I don't even know what the conversation, I can't remember what it was about, but he's like, who is that person? I really like her opinion. And he reached out to me, and then ever since, I mean, we've been friends. We talk all the time. You know, I do his backstage stuff when on all the shows now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I actually got to talk to him yesterday. and he's doing awesome. He's out of the hospital, but he is in rehab center right now to, get to walking again and everything. And he's ready to be home.
You don't like people in the, well, he says he don't like people.
There's nurses though. There's some cute nurses too. I keep giving him a hard time about that. But yeah, I'm glad that he's through it. Because I know it's been bothering him a long time. So, and he still is saying he's still going to try to make it to Arlington this year, and I'm like, really? You just stay home.
You gotta keep the sponsors happy. You gotta keep the
telling
sponsors happy, man.
Wow. That's a
Speaking
lot.
of,
Uh-oh.
you had your segment for yours. I would like to bring up, if you're okay with that. We have a new sponsor, not only for the show, but I've always shipped through them. And I kind of fell back to Earl, right? Long story. I've always used Ship Your Reptiles. I watched a couple people step away. I talked to them about it while I was down in California, and we had a lot of time. So we now officially have a sponsorship with Ship Your Reptile as well, and offering discount code as well. And pretty happy about that. I think that a lot of people kind of forget their roots, as weird as that sounds.
No, it doesn't sound weird at all.
Well, yeah. A lot of people forget their roots and forget who they started with, and then they see this kind of flash. And I'm not knocking any other company by any means, right?
Right.
But they've always been good to me. Every year I get a better discount. I don't do it at a large output. You get mass shipment discounts from them. Your time with the company, you get better discounts. But the Fealy's 15 gives you 15% off your first shipment. And then if you want to sign up with an account, you continue to talk to Miss Susie, and she'll set you up. She's taken great care of me over the last 5 years. So
that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's a big one to have.
I really like it. I'll tell you what, that one was a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
The other ones were a little bit easier. It's kind of like, hey, I want to do this. What do you guys think? And I mean, like, the first one was VivTech. I was the first affiliate person with VivTech, which Earl got mad at me for. But but I've always talked to Ryan and Erica, and Ryan's passion for everything that he does has always captivated me. And super happy with what they're doing. I'm glad to see him kind of take that engineering degree that he's done and take it away from like the mass production and make it something that's centralized around the hobby, right? Versus just making $1. And so all our husbandry stuff, we go through there, and I only use their snake bags. A lot of people don't know that they have their own snake bags. I love it. It's set up for venomous more than it's set up for pythons. It's got a little snake hook on the side of it so that you can grab it it's got a little loop for your snake hook on the side of it. So you never have to touch that bag once you get the snake in. It's just, and then it has a Velcro instead of tie-in or zip tie-in. You got a Velcro strap that you get to use, and then you can zip tie or whatever as well. But I only use their bags. I love the quality of their bags. I love everything that Ryan and Erica have been doing. So I had that. My veteran presence really brought on Reptichip. I just bugged JT until he was like, all right, man, let's do it. We'll do it. And then I became a distributor here locally, which that's one that's going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. If we do move, I have to give up that distribution spot. And that's one that's going to hurt a little bit.
So would that is there not anything here that you could do?
Well, there's already a distributor for Reptichip up there. So I have to give up my Andy. I forget his last name. I want to say it's Hine, Andy Hine. He's one of the bigger guys that helped put in with JT when he was initially starting up Reptichip, right, and trying to make it go across. So he's one of the main guys. Everyone in Texas, Oklahoma, and I believe one other state. So all of us that do distribution, we have to go through Andy.
Yeah.
But his main focus is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I can't do it up there, but I can still order it by the pallet load.
There you go. Oh, that's awesome. So you got some babies we can see that you want to see?
Yeah. Oh,
I always
yeah.
love seeing snakes.
let's
He's
get
like
this
over here
started.
going, God, don't show her
Started.
nothing.
Let's get this started.
I get my glasses.
This little one got. All right, you ready to see your next snake?
Yes.
I don't know if Bobby is, but
Oh my goodness.
Holy.
That's amazing.
he's already big. Like he came out of the egg at around I think like 90, 100 grams, and
Wow.
he's about 120 right now. 100.
Wow.
Well, I think I put him on Morph Market at like 115, but he just ate again. So
Man.
Was that the Blade Desert Ghost Clown?
yes, sir. This is a Blade Desert Ghost Clown.
And that kind of shocks me as much pattern on his back and stuff, you know.
So I don't know what it is about DG clowns, but they get crazy spotting throughout. The only thing that let me know that this was a blade was kind of how the alien heads were running together, and then
Right.
the little offset of color that you get. But that's
so clean.
freaking love it. And then he's got a little heart on his head for a head stamp. Ooh. I'll figure out cameras one day. Like a little broken up heart. One down, only about 50 more to go.
There we go.
And then let's see. Well, we got a bunch of regular clowns that might be het. We decided because of what hit in that clutch with the two visual DG clowns, we only had 6 eggs, and we're like, well, if we're looking at the odds, DG should only hit one. So do we want to run the panel on every single one and find that one, or do we want to just sell them as normal clowns and let someone get lucky?
Right.
And so we decided to take the latter approach. So if someone hits it, someone's going to hit it. Come here, crazy. This one was kind of, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit of a disappointment because this is supposed to be a highway. This was not supposed to turn into an ivory. But I don't even know if you could see it. Yeah, there's so
that little spot of.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
So I believe this is super pastel and then Cine ivory.
Male or female?
That's a good question. I didn't open that one up. I'll tell you right now. It's a little girl. Little girl. So I hit four ivories out of a 6/8 clutch. And then I hit a pastel yellow belly out of it. And I think it's called a sterling. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, to be honest.
That's computer and fire, right?
Yeah, so it's a super pastel Cine. And I think, well, it has to be yellow belly.
Oh, my goodness.
This thing looks crazy.
I like that one.
And I, like, to be honest, there's something crazy going on with its
Yeah.
tail too, but I think that might just be from the Cine. honestly, because Dad is. Let me see. Don't you light my face up? No lighting faces up today. So here's Dad, and that was supposed. So I bought this as a super pastel cine gravel female in a collection. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
when I bought a collection. Right? Yeah, that's how I bought it, and it turned out to be and it was supposed to have fire in it. It doesn't have fire. Turned out to be a super pastel city yellow belly male.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found the male portion out right away, and I was like, well, I got a bunch of yellow belly females. We'll be good.
Right.
I only paired them to one female now. Otherwise, I'd have a bunch of white snakes and nothing else. But
Right. So is that a male or
it's
female?
really cool. You know, I don't
Please be a female. Please be a female.
Well, I think you got your wish there, Miss Holly.
Oh,
That is a female. There is a female.
I like that one.
Super. Oh, you got me.
And she's spicy.
Yeah. Thank you for the pee.
Oh, I thought you got bit.
Oh, no. Just peed on. It's
Just
like
peed
having
on.
kids all over.
Well, you know what they say about that, don't you? Rather be pissed on than pissed off, because when you get pissed off, you get pissed on too.
Yeah. And then, let's see.
Or however that saying goes.
Here's one that I'm super excited about, and I don't know. This might stay, honestly. This one very well. That's a female too. This might stay.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love the pattern on this, and I know a lot of people hate on pinstripe.
Don't
But
hate on pinstripe. It is one of my favorite.
look at that. Like, it's not even getting the full palette, so it starts as burnt orange up here, and it works its way all the way down into a lighter and lighter orange, and then it's just got, I don't know what's doing that on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's causing that weird popcorning influence, because there's no lace or anything
I was
that I
going to
know
say
of
it
that
looks like lace.
there ain't no lace in that parent. So this is, well, I'm going to say what I think this is. I'm still not 100% sure on it, but I believe this is blackhead, pinstripe, fire, and yellow belly.
I was going to say, I wonder if it's yellow belly causing that.
Yeah, it might be yellow belly.
That is a beautiful snake.
Just crazy dorsal pattern because of the blackhead and the pinstripe mixing together.
Yep. Almost looks acidic. It's like acid just poured right on over
Poor
it.
man's acid.
That's right. I have one.
Nice.
A poor man's.
And then we got some champagne stuff. My wife really likes this one, but I think I'm gonna break her heart because I'm the one that's in here cleaning and taking care of stuff. So,
Right.
like, hey, gotta make room. Gotta make that room. So, this came from the same clutch. So, I was trying to figure out what was in the dad, because the dad's a champagne. Well, what we have proven out so far is champagne, blackhead, Mojave. I think fire. Champagne, blackhead, Mojave, and fire. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh.
That, I'm gonna figure that out. That is champagne and yellow belly, I believe. I don't think there's anything else in there. I thought Mojave maybe for a second. Oh, I forgot the Mojave in it.
I wonder where the ringers are coming from.
I don't know, but that's exactly why my wife was like, I really like that one. She's like, it looks like a pied without being a pied. And I was like, what? I really like that dorsal on it. The dorsal's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
amazing. Sorry, I'm not taking your
Freaking
spot.
love it. And
That is pretty.
I'm all about cleanliness. So that, like, the only thing that takes away from this for me is kind of like that dirty grainy that you
Honestly,
get right
yeah.
around the dorsal because of the champagne.
Mhm.
That if that was gone, or if I found a way to take that out of it, man. But I love the copper tone on the head too, like that.
Oh yeah. Let's see that head.
It almost looks like a mahogany clown.
You're looking
with
at me. What the?
copper.
Nope. Ain't gonna focus on it. Dang it.
It's pretty.
Yeah. So we have that. I got a bunch of scaleless head stuff. And we put one pairing together for the you're going in the shed, you stinker. Put one pairing together to hit. I got all my scaleless head stuff from a scaleless head het VPI to scaleless head het VPI. Like, well, I might hit the first VPI scaleless, and that's something I could give to Earl as homage. You know what I mean? Like, say thank you for all the stuff. Well, I only hit one visual VPI,
Oh.
and he's the only one that isn't a scaleless head.
Aw.
Isn't anything to do with it, but he's going into shed, but he's real pretty.
He is
The way
pretty.
he turned out. This is my first
We don't
Xanthic.
have any of those yet.
Yeah, this is my very first Xanthic. I really like the way it's playing in. So when he sheds out all this, it almost looks like Raider colors, as weird as that sounds. Yeah. Like the silvers in him come out really well. It's not this tan that's getting picked up on the camera right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's just super pretty. And that was also the only boy from the clutch. And so I'm torn because, well, let's face it, VPI is not too hard to get a hold of.
Right.
And I let mom and dad go because it's like, well, I don't want to like I was doing that one clutch just to boost my numbers and kind of pay homage, but I don't want to focus on scaleless, right? So
Right.
I'm halfway tempted to kind of be like, well, let's let him go, let someone get into VPI, and then we'll find a male or a female VPI for down the road, because I got one that I purchased that's possibly, oh my goodness, babies, hi, that's possibly het VPI already in a male. So I'm just getting ready to storm.
Oh, I wish it would rain here.
We need it bad.
Oh.
So these literally just shed, so I haven't even tried to sex these yet. But this is a super simple combo. I messed up on this. And
Gotta be
you're
cinnamon,
about
right?
to see.
No.
So that is Black Pastel Mojave.
Wow. That's pretty.
Or Black Magic, or however you want to say it. And then it's a 100% hit albino. So I wasn't thinking about it. I was trying. I guess I ought to sex it right now since it finally shed. I was trying to. That's a little boy. Get that albino mama to start building. And so I just threw the only thing that I had at the time that was het albino, not thinking about the fact that mama's black pastel herself.
Oh,
He's a
no.
black magic albino.
Yeah.
Well, I threw a black pastel het albino male in there. And then I created these.
No. Oh my gosh.
And this
Yeah,
is the
just send
one
that.
I threw.
Send it. He's
So
like, this
the
ain't going
only
nowhere.
issue, I did have a couple of issues with them. So one of the females,
The key.
she shed out right away. She's got a kink right above her cloaca and a little bit of duckbill. This one, though, I don't see any duckbilling. I don't see any kinking. And this is a female as well. So
Oh.
this might be holdback worthy.
Oh my goodness. Absolute dude. Nah.
I
Sell
love
it.
how dark this
Just
came
sell
out.
it. Just I'll buy it. Oh,
And I
she's
don't really plan
amazing.
on going too deep, so it would literally just be used to ensure black pastel
Yep.
into stuff if I kept it. And then, like I said, Mama was a black magic, right?
Mhm.
So I hit 3 super black pastels out of a 5/8 clutch.
Oh my God. He's killing me.
This little one is what I'm pretty sure this is super black pastel Mojave, just because of the dorsal coming out.
Yeah. Wow.
And then the sides are a little bit lighter than you'd see on the other one. So I'm pretty sure this is the Mojave version of it.
Dude, that is gorgeous.
This one, let me see if I can. Well, actually, it's duckbill now that it's not pushing on an egg anymore, is pretty much gone. So that might be one that gets put out there.
Maybe.
Because I ain't holding on, unless it's a female, I don't hold on to any bell complex in my males.
Right.
Come here.
How many shows currently are you doing like a year?
Female, so someone
Oh,
might get really lucky or
I'm over here beating him up.
so currently I do both the Arlington shows. I do 2 shows in El Paso a year and 3 shows in Odessa. Starting January, I'm going to hit both the Pomona shows. And then I'm looking to try to find probably 2 to 4 more shows throughout the year. I don't ever really plan on getting like crazy big. Like, don't get me wrong, there were aspirations of it at one point. Like I wanted to be the next Bar Check. I wanted to be the next Rennick. I wanted to have that Class A facility, right, where you had to have an entire crew running it. And now that I've partnered in Rats and learned how hard it is to work with other people again, don't get me wrong, I love everybody involved. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's just, it's easier to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it where I can manage it, which is probably about 80 to 100 breeders and then the offspring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm
I
the
don't
same
need to
way.
do like a crazy amount of shows because of that, but I tend to do a lot better on shows and like in person than I do online. I just
Yeah.
I don't have that marketing mentality yet is the
Yeah.
issue, I think.
Well, just study Bob Vu. I tell you, that man can sell the shorts off off of
Off
anybody.
of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is excellent at what he does for sure.
Absolutely.
But here, what are those shows they have down Lone Star
Lone Star Reptile
Yeah.
Expos.
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to do,
So I've tried. I was in well, not maybe it was Lone Star. No, it was Texas Reptile Expos. It was the other one. So I'll have to reach out to them. But I did Texas Reptile Expos one time, and I ended up selling out before their next show. They had a December show, and for that year, I had already sold out all the babies. So they hit me up like 2 weeks ahead of time. Do you still need your table? And I was like, no, but I want to be at the next one. Well, they decided to create a wait list at that show. And because I wasn't there, I went to the bottom and I lost my spot.
Mm.
So now I get to kind of sit in line.
Well, the Lone Star, they used to always have it at the Knights of Columbus in Arlington. And it was kind of a smaller
Real
deal,
small.
but now the last couple they've been at.
It's like an ice hockey rink.
Yeah, it's like an ice hockey rink. And
all kinds of stuff in there.
What is it? HEB? It's either HEB or I don't remember exactly, but it seemed like a better facility now.
A lot better, a lot cleaner,
Mhm.
a lot bigger. That other one, I mean, they could only fit very few in there, and it was measurable a lot. But I do like how they're doing their new one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we do. So out west, at least, all we have is the Show Me Snakes. There is one in Amarillo I'm trying to get into. But the lady, I forget her name. Like I said, I'll never forget a face, but I'm freaking horrible with names.
So have you worked any of the herp shows yet?
I have not. I have talked to them about potentially going, but the way they set up their pricing and stuff, it makes you want to kind of run the whole circuit.
Right.
And just so you get a good deal, right? Which I understand. But a lot of those shows are 8+ hours away from me.
Yeah.
So it's just like
they have them in Oklahoma City here. Yeah. So it's just a couple of hours for us. Even from Gainesville, I think it's just right at 2 hours. So.
And see, I wouldn't mind that, but like well, obviously there's the Show Me Snake show here locally, but the next closest one is that Odessa show I do, and that's 3.5, 4 hours. Well, depending on how you drive, it's 3 hours. But
you're around El Paso?
Yeah, I'm out of El Paso. So like the next closest show would be that Amarillo show, and I think that's just short of 5 hours.
Yeah.
Or trying to go into Phoenix or something like that, and with that's a 5-6 hour drive as well. So,
yeah.
Which we're potentially looking at. I'm talking to Vanessa, and I'm trying to get worked into that show if possible. But that Phoenix show is like, I want to say it's like 25 years old, something like that. It's one of the longest running shows in the nation, and same owners, and they only do X amount of percentage of ball pythons at that show. So it's really hard to get in there. And then if you're saying, well, I have a multitude of species that I'm bringing in, even within your whole setup, you can only have, if your focus is saying, well, I'm diversified, you can only have a certain percentage of ball pythons on your table if you try to go that way. So
wow.
Yeah. They're pretty strict about it, but it makes it good, and it makes it a varied show, which I really like.
Yeah. Well, we're right at an hour here, so if you don't mind waiting backstage, we'll finish up, but I still want to talk to you. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Anything else? I don't really know right now. It's been a long weekend, so we'll talk to you guys later.